So let's look how we can apply our knowledge of compound inequalities to a real-world situation. You're going to want to pause to write down these notes or this problem first. I cut a lot of information out for you already, so it's just bullet points, but go ahead and pause, write that down, and then come back when you're ready to start solving. Okay, so here we have Enrique and his dog River. River consumes between 510 calories and 540 calories each day. If she eats 1.5 servings each day of her food, how many treats can she have? So first let's look at what is the amount of calories in just the food alone. It's 1.5 times 320, and that means that it's 480 calories for her food. Her treats are 15 calories each. The question is, how many can she have? Well, let's go back to the fact that she eats between 510 and 540. So we have this constraint here. It can't be less than 510 and it can't be more than 540. So she's going to have 480 calories plus 15 calories per treat. So X is going to represent the number of treats that River eats. So this is the number of treats. This is the part we don't know. How many treats can she have? That's the unknown here. Well, thinking about it as an inequality, we know that the minimum amount of calories is 510, and that amount needs to be less than or equal to, right? Because this is the lesser amount than 540. So less than or equal to this expression right here. We don't know what X is yet, and we can't solve for it until we have something to compare it to. So we're going to leave this as the expression for the value of X, and that amount needs to be less than or equal to 540. Remember, we are going to have this be equal to 510 and 540 because she can eat that amount and eat that amount. So it's equal to as well. I'm going to erase this and rewrite it so we have room to solve and graph. So again, if you need to pause to get the information down, go ahead. Okay. So we have 510 is less than or equal to 480 plus 15x, which is less than or equal to 540. Remember, we need to split these off into two inequalities so we can solve for x in each one. So we're going to rewrite and solve the first one, and then we'll rewrite and solve when we get done with the first one. So step one, we're going to subtract 480 from both sides. We get 30 is less than or equal to 15x. And so if she is eating 510 calories, this means that River can have 2 of her treats. Okay? Over here, we're going to get 15x is less than or equal to, and in this case we have a difference of 60 calories. So 15x is less, no, sorry, we're dividing by 15. There's 4 15s in 20. So if she's eating 540 calories, that means that she can have 4 treats. So let's look at this on a number line. So the minimum amount of calories is 510. Maximum is 540. We know that River can eat these values as well, so this is included in our solution with a closed circle, and it can be greater than 510 or less than 540. This also tells us that this is an AND inequality, because we have graph solutions in between the two values. And another vocab word I want you to learn and take down is, this means that she can eat, so River can have, remember the original question was how many treats can River have? River can have between 2 and 4 treats. And the word here we're going to write is inclusive. Now what this means is it includes all values in between. Now thinking about this in a real world context, she's not going to have a fraction of a treat probably, right? It's going to be whole treats. So really what we're saying is the whole numbers between 2 and 4, which would be 2, 3, or 4 treats. But that word inclusive just means it's all the values in between. That also makes sense to the context of the problem. Again, you're not going to break off tiny fractions of pieces for River to eat. It would just be another whole treat and what have you. And that is how we apply our compound inequalities knowledge to a real world context. You guys will need to do this on your test coming up. So make sure that you are fluent and you practice this in your practice problems and check your answers as you work.